Assalamualaikum ya Ustad ya Ustadzah Atamasya ilal baghdad Wala tansa ihmilu arribat Idza kuntum ummat Muhammad Ajimus salami bin nasyad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the very same class, 11th Science 6, Team 3, with me as the captain of the team, Adhilla Salsabila. I am accompanied with my intelligent fellows. We have Carissa, Adelia, Putri, and Syefi, Salima, Sucipto. Today, we will be proudly presenting our scientific research paper based on laboratory research. Our study topic is the effectivity of Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment as an alternative for burn wound healing. Honorable Ustad and Ustadzah as our judges today, please allow me to bring all of you to our opening first chapter of our paper, the introduction. For this occasion, I present Syefi to brief you honorable judges an explanation.
Hello everyone, my name is Syefi, and in this opportunity I'm going to discuss the first and second chapter of this research. Firstly, introduction. In this chapter, I'm going to firstly discuss the causes, the reasons this research exists in the first place, and they are divided into 3 points, which are burns, anti-inflammatory substances, and lastly, Salvinia molesta. Firstly, burns. Burns or burn wounds is a type of trauma with high mortality and morbidity. They are caused by several things, and for example, electrical heat, chemicals, and etc., which contacted with the skin, mucosa, and deeper tissues. Burns with high area are capable to influence body's metabolism and functions, and when they are ignored without specific treatment, they can cause several infections. It was being stated by the World Health Organization that 265,000 deaths every year are caused by burns alone, specifically on poor and developing countries such as ASEAN countries, which they have higher potential in burns compared to other areas, and 70% of them actually lead to death. So, effective treatment is needed for infection caused by burns. There have been researches regarding healing methods for burns as well, but despite the benefit of using synthetic substances, the WHO actually recommend and support natural substances use which have been considered safe beforehand. This led to the second point, which is anti-inflammatory substances, which are found in plants, and they are flavonoid, phenol, alkali, saponin, and tannin, with all of them holding their own roles. Based on preceding researches, these substances actually found in Salvinia molesta. And Salvinia molesta itself is a water weed which has a rapid growth and therefore lead to environmental harm. Considering its potential of being medicinal plants and in this matter, anti-inflammatory medicines because of their compositions, of course. Therefore, this research with the title of the effectivity of Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment as an alternative for burn wound healing is being held. The main issue which fundamentally support this research is how effective is Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment in healing burn wounds, process of male house mouse, Mus musculus, and the objective of this research is to know Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment effectivity in burn wounds healing process of male house mouse, or Mus musculus. And the benefits including the first one is to give information regarding Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment as the alternative to the burn wounds healing method, and the second one is to provide utilizations alternatives for Salvinia molesta, and the third one is as a media for studies regarding Salvinia molesta utilizations. Moving on to chapter 2. Here, we are going to discuss the supporting theory fundamentals for this research. It is divided into 4 points, which are burns, extract, Salvinia molesta, and lastly, ointment. Before we jump into burns, we want to first talk about wounds in general itself. One is defined as skin tissue damage, which is caused by several factors. For example, contact with heat sources, medical treatment, or physiological condition change. Based on its healing period, wounds are divided into 2, which are acute wounds and chronic wounds. Next, burn wounds or burns. Burns or inflammations are defined simply as body's reaction or immune reaction towards foreign objects. Burns won't disappear completely and have a high secondary infection potential caused by pathogen. And the classification for burn wounds or burns is based on their depth or their size, in this case, counted in area. They are classified into first-degree burns, second-degree burns, second-degree deep burns, third-degree burns, and also fourth-degree burns. In this research, we are focusing on the second-degree burns, which characterized by with the damage to the epidermis and the superficial third of the dermis. Regarding the healing process, there are several influencing factors, which are burn degrees, burn causes, subject's general condition, and also related comorbidity. So, like what we have discussed before in the first chapter, that in this research we're utilizing Salvinia molesta leaves extract, and extract itself is defined as liquid, semi-solid or dry substances, which are collected by extracting active substance from animal or plants using the suitable methods. It is then continued with evaporation process until it reaches the suitable or desired states. Extract solidity is influenced by several factors. The first one is plant validity, growth environment, geological factors, additional substances which may be added in the growing process, technology used for the extract production, harvesting time, and also post-harvest treatment. So we have talked about both the burns and also the extract, and what's left are the main star itself, right? Salvinia molesta. Salvinia molesta is defined as floating water fern, which effectively grow in slow stream, warm, and nutritional fresh water. So another thing about this water fern is that they are also considered as water weeds because of their rapid growth, which cause potential harm for the environment. Aside from that, Salvinia molesta actually have potential to be utilized as anti-inflammatory medicine. This is caused by their compositions, of course, which includes flavonoids, saponin, tannins, phenol, and also alkaloids, which all of them offers different roles in the healing process of the burns. Lastly, ointment. Ointment is a semi-solid substances which is meant for external use. Standardly, ointment should not melt at body temperature in order to form a protectional layer. There are several kinds of ointments, and in this research, we are using the hydrocarbon-based ointment or fat-soluble ointment with the objective of prolonging contact with the targeted skin and to play as a coverage bandage. Therapeutically, it is categorized as epidermic ointment, which react on the epidermic and is non-absorbent. So this is for the theoretical fundamental, and moving on to the basic assumption. In this research, we have three basic assumptions, and the first one is that Salvinia molesta is capable to provide internal healing for burn wounds. The second one is that Salvinia molesta is capable to decrease infection side effects caused by burn wounds, and the third one is that Salvinia molesta can be utilized as an alternative for burn wounds healing. And based on the discussed theory, two hypotheses were formed. The first one is the alternative hypothesis, which is Salvinia molesta has the capability to be utilized as a natural alternative for burn wounds healing ointment, and zero hypothesis, which is Salvinia molesta is not capable to be utilized as a natural alternative for burn wounds healing ointment. And chapter 3 will be discussed by Carissa.
This research is conducted by implementing quantitative research. Research variables is divided into three. The independent variable is the formula concentration of Salvinia molesta extract on the ointment. Meanwhile, the dependent variable is the characteristic generated by the ointment. Positive control included the characteristic of animals used for testing, ointment dosage, burn rate, and burn location. This research has been carried out from 20 September 2020 until 30 March 2021 and taken place at the Science Laboratory of SMA Al Hikmah Surabaya and Pharmacy Faculty Laboratory of Universitas Surabaya. Materials used for this research are Salvinia molesta leaves, yellow vaseline for ointment base, 70% ethanol, oil placenta, universal indicator, male musculus, and filter paper. Other than that, petri dish, blender, rotary vacuum, evaporator, magnetic stirrer, triple beam balance, beaker glass, Buchner funnel, solder, and water bath are tools that used in this research. There are three main steps carried out. First, the extraction process of Salvinia molesta using the maceration method. Second, the ointment production combining yellow vaseline and Salvinia molesta extract with 3 concentration. Third, the ointment products will undergo several tests for determining its characteristics. The extraction process using the maceration method is start by preparing Salvinia molesta by drying and crushed to form a powder. The resulted powder will be submerged in 8,000 of 70% ethanol for 40 minutes while mixed by a magnetic stirrer at 13,000 revolutions per minute. The solution continued to be submerged for 24 hours at room temperature and then filtrated. The filtration resulted then evaporated in a rotary vacuum evaporator at 40 degrees Celsius. After the extract was obtained, phytochemical screening for flavonoids, alkaloids, saponin, tannin, and phenol was held by using the Harborne method. Yellow vaseline and extract were mixed with a magnetic stirrer until it reached a homogeneous condition. The ointment was made into 5%, 10%, and 15% of the Salvinia molesta extract. Speed test, homogeneity, adhesion, pH, organoleptic and effectivity tests will be done to determine the characteristic of the ointment. For the effectivity test, 15 fine male musculus weighing 20 until 30 grams are grouped into 5 each of 3 as shown in the table. And for the next chapter, Adhilla will present it.
Thank you. We begin collecting the data required on Thursday, December 18, 2020. Then the extraction of Salvinia molesta leaves was carried out using the maceration method. Of the phytochemical screening, we have proven that Salvinia molesta leaf positively contains all of the required substances in our research, such as flavonoid, saponin, tannin, and phenol. Yet, it is negatively contains alkaloid. On the next test, we have the homogeneity test of the ointment. It is aimed to see whether all the components of the ointment are well mixed or not. The results of the ointment homogeneity test can be seen in the table shown, as all 3 of the formulas are proven to be homogenic. On below, we have the addition test, aimed to find out how long the ointment lasts. The average results of repetition of the ointment addition test, all measured in seconds, they can be seen in the table. Formula 1 lasts for 5.3 seconds, continued by Formula 2 lasting 0.7 less than before, and the last Formula 3, which is the shortest time to be assessed, with only 4.1 seconds. Next slide, we have the spread test, aiming to determine the ability of the ointment so that it is easy to apply. The average results of this repetition of the spreadability test are measured in centimeters, and they can be seen in the table. The first formula is proven to have the least amount of spreading, on the contrary of the third formula, which is 4.5 centimeters. On below, we have the pH test. It is to determine the acidity level of the ointment so that it is in accordance with the pH level of the ointment preparation. It is proven that all formula have shown the same pH level, it is 5. On the far below, we have the organoleptic test, including the smell, color, and shape of the Salvinia molesta ethanol extract ointment that were observed visually. Organoleptic test results can be seen in the table, as we can all see that all formulas have shown the more or less same smell, color, and shape, which is extra characteristic smell, brownish yellow, and semi-solid respectively. Last but not least, precisely, we'd rather consider this as the most important test as we are involving other living organisms. Our 15 fine house mice's musculus to test the effect of burns healing on the object of research. We are measuring the area of the wound using the marked biophotonic image G program as shown in the graph. From what I and my friends have explained earlier regarding the results of lab tests and experiments, we draw our conclusions that treatment of burns with Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment is proven to be utilized as an alternative for burn wounds healing. Moreover, we have also proven that Salvinia molesta leaf extract ointment with 15% extra concentration gives the best healing result. Other than that, I have a few more words to say before I close this presentation. That is, we are looking forward for further research about Salvinia molesta leaf extract utilization potential for burn wound healing in other forms. Instead, we're rather considering it important in all ways. These are the references that we are used during our research paper. So, ladies and gentlemen, honorable Ustad and Ustadas are our lovely judges today. That is all from our presentation this time. We deeply wish that our research can be much developed into something much bigger and something much more beneficial to mankind, because that is the essence of a Muslim, to become rahmatan lil alamin. From me, Adhilla Salsabila, represents Team 3 of 11 Science 6. I thank you all for all lovely judges, Ustad and Ustadah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.